Hey guys, welcome to the 6th episode of my road to a 750 chess elo. Let's not stand on ceremony with this one. We're the white pieces, so we're going to try our London opening here. He's developing relatively normally and checks my king. So we'll just push him away with a pawn, and immediately we've won a move, so to speak, because he's had to then move a piece once, move a piece twice, which allows us some better development than him. We'll then castle nice and early. I'm not entirely sure what he's going for here, if he's trying to take my bishop or he's just trying to put pressure, but was look to develop again. He's just had to move twice, so I'd say we're in a much better position to start this opening. We've got our knight where we want them on the e5 square. They then takes, I'll take with a pawn, learning my lesson from last episode. And again, I guess he's trying to reroute to target one of my pawns, but he seems a bit out of ideas here. So I'm just going to push on the left. He takes, I'll take back with my knight, getting some further good development. Although I have just blocked off one of the lanes my bishop could occupy. I don't think that's particularly pressing right now. Okay, he goes to threaten my pawn again, so we'll just sort of let him take it. We'll then rock our bishop back, get him protected nicely. He'll then castle on the far side. Right, in hindsight, I don't know if I should have moved my queen here and just taken his knight, which is completely hanging, but we just threatened with a pawn. So he moves inside, and instead of taking with our pawn here and upsetting our pawn structure, we'll take with our knight as well. So we've had quite a busy opening exchange from the knights. I then tried to catch him off guard here, throwing my rook forwards, taking that pawn, hoping he'd take with his queen, not spotting my bishop back on g3. But he did spot that and just sort of moved to the left. So I'll just take the pawn and sort of continue my advancement, continue my domination. I'm up 3 pieces at this point. I'm not quite sure what he's thinking with this move here. I don't know if he's planning to move his bishop and then take my rook and sort of go trade for trade, but I don't think that's the wisest thing he can do in his position. But I'm just going to continue and move my knight over to the right like so. Try and get at that back rank, just try and upset some pieces. I already have my sort of bishop targeting that pawn on h7. Can I get my knight in there? Keep it flexible, see what I can achieve. He then moves his queen. Okay, so that might reveal what he's trying to do. He's just trying to flood my back rank, but I'm still not seeing how that's going to work for him. So I just continue, pushing my knight up the board. Okay, he hasn't moved his rook, so we'll trade a knight for a rook. Thank you very much. Now, I'll be honest, guys, I can't really remember why I chose to rock my bishop back, but we'll roll with it. He'll push his pawn. We'll push our pawn. I think I'm trying to tease him out here, make him make a mistake, which he kind of does here. He offers me the bishop trade. I decline and instead pin his queen, thus winning his queen because there's no way he can currently move his king. He then goes to immediately threaten my queen, but I just take the queen immediately while I can. He takes back, and then, yeah, because he's in check, I can just move my queen out of the way that way. He continues his castle advancement. Again, I'm not 100% sure what he's spotting here. But I'll just come in like so and take the free pawn. Well, I don't know if you can quite classify it as free, but if he took back with his rook, I'd then take with my queen and I'd definitely be up. So I'll take that. He'll then threaten my queen, so I'll move her out the way. And at this point, I'm either going to take his bishop or take his castle, you'd guess, the way I've got them both lined up. He goes to protect his castle. Pretty smart move by him. So I'll just line it up from another angle, offering what is essentially a rook trade, because after I take the bishop, he'll then take my rook, I'll then take his rook. He then takes my hanging bishop, so I'll then take his, he'll then take mine, I'll then take his, like I've said. What I didn't factor in was that I was going to lose my bishop at the top, but whatever. We'll definitely take that and simplify. We're plus 12, complete domination. He tries to line my rook up, I just take his next pawn. I mean, at this point, the game is pretty much done as a contest. I'll check him there, take his bishop, and he resigns. First game, first win. Maybe episode 6 is the first one where we get 3 wins in a row. Come on. Right, second game, this time we're black. So he's going to push his queen pawn. I'm going to play what at the time I thought was a Caro-Kann, although now I know better. I'm not really sure what you call it, but it seems to work relatively effectively at this level, no matter if they push the king pawn or the queen pawn. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it in. He's then going to develop relatively normally. I'm guessing he's setting up for a London here, which is exactly what he goes to do. So I'm just going to continue my development. I'm not really sure how to play the Caro-Kann against a London. That's something I have actually researched since, and I'll be hoping to show you in future episodes. But I just develop relatively normally. See, he's trying to put pressure. I'm trying to, not be under pressure. And what I notice here is as he's moved his knight, he is threatening my f7 square, which if he lands on, I've then either got to take with my king and lose my ability to castle, or he forks my queen and my rook. So basically, I just lose my ability to castle. So we don't want that. We'll just slide the queen up. So if he decides to pop on down, we'll just take him out. He's then developing his queen. I then am able to get my knight where I like it on the e4 square, or on the e5 if you're playing as white. he'll take a free pawn, which I wasn't like even paying attention to. That was dumb on my behalf. And then I threaten his queen like so, and he'll take another free pawn. So all in all, he's up 2. You know what? We'll fight back and do some trading of our own. We'll take his knight like so. He then, for whatever reason, hasn't taken my knight with his bishop, which I thought he'd do and we could trade. He's moved his queen back, threatening my queen in the centre. So I'll just do a queen trade. I mean, I probably could have done something here to defend my knight, but I thought, you know what? No, we play aggressive chess. We'll go for takes and takes. I'm +1 overall, so it's worth doing. Can't complain. I'll then look to push his bishop away, and surprisingly, he'll retreat. We'll then take his hanging pawn, and we'll be 2 to the good. He says, not realising his castle is completely hanging. That's not ideal. We'll just take his bishop back like so, and he'll take my bishop. He's now +3. Not my best exchange moves ever, but you know what? Head down, just castle into the corner. He's also castled, but you can see my king's got a lot more protection than his. I know I'm 3 points down, but there's definitely still hope at this point. And then bring my bishop back into the centre. He'll threaten, so I'll continue moving the bishop back. He'll threaten again, and he goes to threaten one more time here, but I just threaten to take the inside pawn, so we'll do a little pawn trade. He's still up. He's threatening my bishop again, so I'm just going to push my pawn again. And he'll take, so I'll take back. Because, I mean, he is threatening my bishop there with his rook. But if he does, I'll just takes for takes, like it's backed up by my pawns. It'll upset my pawn structure a bit, but we can certainly live with it. He's trying to flood the back rank here, but I mean, his left-hand side rook, as we're looking at the board, can't get to the back rank. So I'm not entirely sure what it was. Maybe he's just putting his rook on the open file and I'm overthinking it. But either way, I'll take the pawn, so which he then pushes his own pawn. And you know what? We'll just take that because we can. We're now only down +1. Not a bad comeback. And I can see my next move is going to be to try and take that pawn on c3, forking his king and his knight. However, he also sees that, so he defends the pawn. So I'll just check him, hoping that he moves away from his pawn, allowing me to take it again. Unfortunately, he doesn't do that and moves off to the right-hand side. So if I took his pawn with my rook, he'd just immediately take back. So I'll just develop my knight, getting them back into the action. They've sat out for a bit too long, you know. They're getting a bit lazy back there, so we'll bring him in. He's also looking to reroute his knight, I'm guessing to try and kick my castle away. But, you know, we'll keep developing. You can't really take any of my pieces from here. So what I'm going to do is use his knight for protection and move my knight inside like so. I'm presuming on the next move he'll move it away. He hasn't. He's offered a rook trade. Okay, so I'll accept the rook trade. And then I'll check his king, forking his king and his other rook. And his king has to move. I'll take the rook. He'll take my knight. But we've gone back up to +1. We're back in that hypothetical lead. I'll then look to take his pawn at the back. I presume he's looking to take my pawns as well. He'll check my king. My king will then move. He'll then take my supporting pawn. But you know what? He's given us a free route to the outside. And I don't think he's going to be able to do anything to stop me getting to the end and promoting like so. In fact, in the process, he managed to lose his knight in a trade here. Game for my piece. We'll do trade for trade because I know I'm going to promote first. Get the queen. Easy win from here, right? I can't do anything stupid. I don't even need a second queen, you know? In fact, I can't be asked to think that much, so I'm just going to get a second queen. And what's that? Draw by stalemate. Bloody amazing play, Joe. Great stuff, like top notch here. How did you manage to blunder the win with a stalemate? Wow. Right. On to the next one. Okay, it's game 3 now, and I'm definitely baying for blood and want to get a W. So we're white, and we'll start with our London opening, but I do promise I change these openings up in future videos. It's just coming. Again, he threatens check here, like so. So I'll just kick his bishop away. And this game started very similar to the last one, in that he had to double move a couple of pieces. I was able to develop normally and castle nice and early, winning the e5 square, like I love so doing. I'm then able to keep developing and solidify the e5 square even more by moving my knight across like so. But he's now going to challenge that authority. I don't quite know why. I'm going to try and slide my rook onto what is more likely to be an open file in the future. And he's going to push my pawn. This is the first time he's trying to really upset my London structure. And if I'm honest, I'm just going to let him take the pawn if he wants to take it, because I can push the pawn on the e file or the c file and take back. I just, you know, I'm trying to support my knight in the middle, whatever means necessary. So I'll just push up and give my king an escape square from where he's castled. He's then gone out now. I'm presuming he's threatening my bishop at the back here, really trying to destabilise things. So actually what I'm going to do is try and catch him on the unawares here, moving my knight up, with the next move looking to move him to h7, and then ultimately sacrifice him to gain the rook. He's tried to keep me away, winning at least one of my knights. However, for whatever reason, I've gone inside. I don't know why I didn't go outside, and he immediately takes. It's okay, I can take back with my other knight like so. So we're not down by as much, but I mean, there's a much simpler way I could have done that without having to lose a piece. I can, though, just immediately take his knight, which is completely unguarded, checking his king in the process. So maybe I'm not as dumb as I first thought I was. God, that's a tongue twister. I can then take the pawn as well, now I'm backed up by my bishop. And really, the bishops played a great role in this game. They really helped me out. It's my strongest, probably, bishop game. I'm not quite sure of the thought process behind my opponent's move there. But I'll just take his pawn and put a sort of another piece up. We're now +4. My opponent's retreated. And you know what we did now? A nice little checkmate. Thank you guys very much for watching. We've definitely grown this episode. We 1000% should have had 3 wins. And I'm going to find out a better way I can track my score. On to the next one.